everyone, and welcome to our JAXREIA Corporate Sponsor Highlight Series. My name is Nasreen Ali, and I'm the president of the Jacksonville Real Estate Investors Association here in Jacksonville, Florida. Today I'm joined by my guest, Sheehan from Networth Realty, and we are coming to you from River and Post, one of the trendiest rooftops here in our beautiful city. Riley, so welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell me more about Networth Realty and what it does, what you do for the community.
Yeah, so Networth Realty of Jacksonville, we are a full-service wholesale brokerage. We get about 20 to 25 off-market properties that we sell to investors, flippers, landlords, anybody that's looking to get into real estate investing. And in addition to that as well too, we also have a hard money lending company called 212 Loans. That is our sister company, so we're also able to help finance those deals as well. We're also nationally partnered with Home Depot. So whenever an investor buys a property from us, they actually get discounts in store at Home Depot up to 25%. And then we also have an in-house listing agent. Her name is Claire. So for investors that don't have a realtor or aren't realtors themselves that want to relist the property for sale, she could do it for 1% as opposed to 3% on the back end.
Wow, that's enormous. Sounds like a one-stop shop for investing.
It is, and that's how we try to do it, start and finish.
You find it, you fund it, you help rehab it, and you sell it, right?
The four cornerstones are find, fund, fix, and future.
There you go. Amazing.
Yep.
All right. So since you joined JAXREIA as a corporate sponsor, what kind of deals and relationships have you cultivated in the community?
Yeah, and I would say the biggest thing is just, relationships. Like real estate is a relationship business, in my opinion. Like I said, it's not about knowing every single little thing that's out there.
Right.
It's about the people that you know and the connections that you make. So from private money lenders to title companies to, even people that cut down trees and do lawn work to contractors, the whole nine, from even, the expo that JAXREIA had where there's about 60 different vendors in a room. I mean, the connections are endless start to finish. So,
absolutely.
I mean, everyone from the contracting side, the title side to, even getting stuff done with probate. I mean, it's been start to finish with the connections that we've made and done out here.
How did you get started?
So I got started, I originally played football for the University of South Florida in the beautiful city of Tampa Bay. I got my degree in finance, and I always wanted to be a real estate investor myself, actually. So I, was looking at jobs, applying like crazy, and thought, hey, you know what? I want to go into like investment banking or make money and then buy rental properties. That was the end-all be-all goal when it came down to it. So when I was applying, I met my old broker Joshua too, who owns Networth Realty of Tampa. And from the start, from when I met him, I said, you know what? It was a commission-only job, but it's something where I was like, you know what? The culture was amazing. The team was amazing. I want to get into real estate investing myself, so why not just take a leap of faith and get into it from there? So in February of 2019, I started in real estate and then continued my journey on where I was able to help investors buy and sell deals in the Tampa Bay community, finding them properties that they were fixing and flipping or fixing to rent.
Right.
And then anybody that owns a Networth Realty started off at the very bottom as a sales associate. So throughout my journey, I climbed my way up and then earned the right to come out and open up Networth Realty of Jacksonville.
That's awesome. And was that your goal from the beginning? You knew you wanted to kind of move up?
It did, and for the time, Jacksonville wasn't like an open market.
Right.
Somebody else had a claim on it, and then things had changed. And for me, as my journey progressed, my rental portfolio started to expand in Tampa off of deals that we couldn't sell. I had some great conversations with Josh, the three owners of our company, Jeremy Coburn, Scott McComb, and Mark Bloom, and Jacksonville came up in the conversation, and when that door opened up, it was definitely something I wanted to jump into and put my hands on.
So specifically, what was that conversation like as far as Jacksonville? Because there's so many other markets you might have explored.
With my growth and with the company, I could have, for Networth Realty, we look for metros of 1 million population or more.
Okay.
And so for me, I'm a Florida guy. I was born and raised in Florida. My brother and I were born in Sarasota, Florida. Grew up with a single mom, and for us, like, family is very important to us. So for me, I wanted to stay in Florida. I also knew all the rules. I could get my broker's license right away. And so for me, when Florida opened, or Jacksonville was open, it's the cheapest metro left in the state of Florida with over 1 million population or more. Yes, you may have sub-metros. You may have some places that are in the middle of the state. But when it comes to a coastal metro where you've got commerce coming in, you've got the beaches, you can buy a property in Jacksonville for under $30,000,
Sure,
and
yeah.
I could take you out to Ponte Vedra Beach and we can sell stuff for over 10 million plus.
Right,
So the
right.
spectrum of properties from where anybody can enter into the market to your high-end flippers, your high-end developers, the whole nine, there's a lot of room and growth for the city, just in my opinion.
Sure, I hear that. What kind of challenges did you, so you pretty much came to Jacksonville, new city, and built your own business, new city. What kind of challenges did you face? And
Yeah,
how'd you deal with them? Yeah.
with the challenges is, when you start anything new, like I had a very, set business, the Tampa market and even the Networth Tampa team, it's an established, firm, an established company that's been there. I had some teammates, some amazing investors that I work with, some amazing, sell resources or buy resources that I worked with. And I pretty much had my business working where it was just flowing constantly. But, the next step for growth is coming out and completely starting off at zero. So
Right.
for me, my my right hand guy, Casey Sheehan, who is my brother,
Right.
came out as my number two. So he's even started in Tampa, started his business, got his business up and going, and then when we came, like it was time to come out here and open up, he left all that behind as well too, and we came out here and started from scratch. So
Right.
with anything, when you go from starting zero, which I did when you start in real estate, you start off at zero because you haven't put any inputs in. You haven't really put any time or any effort into it, so you have to start off at zero.
Right.
So doing it where I've done it once before, having an amazing playbook, having amazing mentors like Joshua too, and the three founders of the company, where they've instilled in me core values, instilled in me practices where I was able to come into a market and really, rely on the Networth playbook to get it rolling. Where, yeah, it was tough to come out here, but having organizations like JAXREIA where you can just come into a room and meet hundreds of people that are like-minded, looking for properties, looking to sell properties, people that you can do business with, and makes it a whole lot easier.
Right, sure. You talked about really liking the culture at Networth Realty when you were in Tampa. So talk to me about how the culture at JAXREIA aligns with, a culture that you really enjoy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, as I, from the day that, and for me, I don't get too nervous with certain things. I'd built a business. I felt, this is something that's going to work for me, not against me. But I can tell you, when we moved out here, my wife, Claire, we weren't even married at the time, but we did our first move actually down the street to our apartment here.
Wow.
I came out with Casey, Zach Tajy, who's one of my agents, Claire, and myself. And, we went to the JAXREIA before we even opened up here as a company. So we just wanted to come out and meet people. And I remember, I built my business in Tampa off going to the REIAs, going to the meetups, going to the networking events. So that's definitely the first part of where I wanted to start. Is just coming in the door.
Right.
And I can tell you, I was a little nervous walking in the door the first time. You don't know if everybody's going to accept you.
Sure.
We're a new company coming into town. You don't know if things are set or how they're done.
Right.
And, I walked in, people had actually done business with other net worth markets and, other states. And I remember the words were like, it's about time you got here, and I was like, man, what a sigh of relief.
Right.
The community was very welcoming, and we just, we're excited to get business started right away. And from that day, I think we established that we were going to become, gold sponsor with JAXREIA from that evening, and kept it going from there.
That's awesome. So you were looped into the REIA in Tampa and here in Jacksonville. What's the value that being with a REIA brought to your business? And
Yeah, and then for me, you can go into a room where you're dealing with like-minded people, you're dealing with people with like-minded values, you're dealing with everybody in that room wants to either be a real estate investor themselves, they're striving to be one, they're either wholesaling, they're either selling properties, they're either lending, no matter what their forte is or exactly what their niche is that they're working on.
Right.
They're all connected in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
So whether it's, they faced a problem, you can go into a room like JAXREIA and hear from other people's successes and use it towards your business. You can use other people's downfalls and use it towards your business,
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can have a whole collective thing where everybody's working together, not against each other. And I've really felt that's how the JAXREIA community is from the day we stepped in before we even opened up here in April of last year to we went to that meetup in February. I mean, it was, accepting from the beginning. And it's like, yeah, you might have a little bit of trouble here and there, but you've got a room that you can fall back on and resources that you can, go and talk to and help grow your business from there.
Perfect. Yeah, having that supportive community is just so huge.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially, local. Yeah, looping into the local community. What advice would you give someone who's trying to get involved somehow in real estate here in Jacksonville, or have a real estate related business that's looking to expand? Or
Yeah, you know, I'm a big believer in it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Sure.
You know,
Yes.
and for me, it's like, you know I don't know everything, and being vulnerable to that and being allowing my business to even work that way is like, hey, I'm not going to know every little thing that I look at on a house, but I've got people that can tell me exactly what's wrong with it. I don't know how to necessarily handle a situation with probate, but I've got people that I can pick up my cell phone and make one phone call to, and I'll know exactly how we can handle that situation.
Right.
So when you get in a room full of people like that, it's like, hey, join something like the JAXREIA, or even just any meetup group in general, or just connecting yourself with like-minded people. You know, for me, I do, you know, coaching and mentorship with a guy named, you know, Keith Kraft. And for me, like, you know, one of the biggest things he's taught me is, you know, your alignment leads to your assignment in life. You know, when you're aligned with the right people, you know, the right things are going to happen. But if you're aligned with things where a group of people that necessarily aren't going to hit your goals or hit your passions that you want to get to,
Right.
you're never going to achieve them, because that's who you're running around with every day.
So at what point do you feel the trust to do a deal within the JAXREIA community, to deal with someone in JAXREIA?
Yeah, and it, you know, might say cliche, but honestly, from day one, you know, I mean, you know, we talked about it from when I walked in the door, or even before I started with JAXREIA, the fact of how welcoming the community is. You know, I've been to other REIAs, I've been to other networking events where it's like, oh, who's this new person here? Who's, you know, who is this walking in the door? You know, but for us, from the second we came out here, before we even fully moved to Jacksonville, we actually attended the JAXREIA. We, you know, we were welcomed in with open arms, and then once we became a gold sponsor and made those connections, really it kind of just was start to finish from there. And you know, before we even do deals with people, we like to sit down, meet with everybody, put a face to the name. But you know, for me, like I said, you know, having the values aligned the right way and sitting down and going over those, but just being with JAXREIA in general and being within the community is just the starting point to kicking that off.
Awesome. Well, we're certainly grateful to have you aligned with us.
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome. And wanted to end off with a question that's just, what is it that drives you? What motivates you and keeps you going every day?
I'm hungry every day. You know, and for me, I've always felt like I've been an underdog. You know, like I said, you know, my grandpa, he taught me two things in life, and it might be crazy. I was a little kid, but he said the two keys to success in life are lazy and stupid. And he said a lazy person is going to hire somebody else where they can build a business to where they can buy back their time and use their resources towards something else.
Right.
And a stupid person doesn't know what can't be done, so when everyone tells them it's not possible, they're going to go do it anyways and prove them wrong.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
a little silly mantra there, but
Love
you know,
it.
and you know, I've really loved to live by that, and to it's, you know, really whatever you put your mind to, and you create a team where that's big with us with Networth Realty of Jacksonville, is our culture is the most important thing. Our core values are the most important thing, and you've got a team that's aligned and connected to a common goal of hitting the team's goals. All their individual goals are going to follow.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. There you have it. Riley Sheehan of Networth Realty, one of our gold corporate sponsors. So happy to have you.
Thank you.
If you would like to learn more about how to expand on your investing and real estate business, please reach out to us here at JAXREIA.